interspecies communicator, and recently I've been connecting with trees more than any other species because they have just so many incredible stories to share. I live out here in Joshua Tree, California. You can see all these beautiful Joshua trees behind me, and they just have such beautiful stories and so much wisdom and such a different perspective of life than we have through our human perspective. I recently was having a conversation with a tree where it shared with me that there is a paradox in imagination. Trees don't have imagination. They can't imagine something different in the future. They don't have that brain or even that part of their brain. So what exists to a tree is what is present to a tree. And these Joshua trees were telling me that they've always been so fascinated by the imagination that humans have and the power of imagination, because so many times there have been, let's say, a group of people here who are searching for water or something like that, and they'll just imagine there has to be water beyond that hill, or there has to be something else out there for me, some resources, let me go look for that. And that all starts with an imagination, and that's what starts that process of going to the next hill and going on a trek, going on an adventure to find those new resources. So I have a very, very active creative part of my brain and an active imagination. And for so much of my life, I've always seen that as a fault. And so having this conversation with this tree showed me how our imagination isn't just something that, like, we have a cool dream or something like that. Our imagination is actually a big part of what has fueled all of human evolution and the progression of humanity. And it's what fuels us every single day. So after having this conversation with these Joshua trees, this was many years ago, I developed a completely new relationship with my creativity and with my imagination. I realized that this was the spark of a fire that I could blaze. Like, I could blaze a new path for myself. And it just starts with your creativity and with your imagination. When we're facing circumstances that we don't want to be in, our ladder out of that dark place is truly our imagination. The imagination that things could be better for you, that maybe this bird that's dancing around this tree behind me is dancing just to show me a sign or something like that. And so often creativity and imagination has been shut down, as it has been for me. But this conversation with these trees really reactivated it within myself. And so I wanted to share that for anyone else who maybe is interested in interspecies communication or interested in these messages from these trees, because they are so profound. And just hearing these stories and gaining this wisdom has completely changed my life. So maybe it can completely change someone else's too.